That's right. You're watching the Political Vigilante. My name is Graham Elwood. Great way to support the show is going to patreon.com/Graham Elwood. One of the things you get to do, you get bonus content, exclusive videos, behind the scenes footage from me on the road, cool stuff like that, early access to the audio podcast, and you get to submit articles. One of the articles that was submitted to me by Victor Templar, who is a Operation Iraqi Freedom vet who lives in Texas, and told me about this, the Permian Highway Pipeline. Oh, the pipeline, folks. They want to put this pipeline through like Oklahoma and Texas. It's natural gas pipeline, and it's pretty brutal. Thank you, Victor, for supporting the show and sending this our way so we can let everybody know about this. And there's some action you're going to be able to take. There's a non-for-profit organization that is needs money to fight these pipelines in court. There's also some town hall meetings coming up in specific cities in Texas. If you're near there, please show up. I'll give you that information in a second. The link to this organization is in the show notes. The Kinder Morgan Permian Highway Pipeline is currently planned to come through the Hill County and will directly impact 82 properties in Hays County. Along its route, the pipeline will cross rivers, creeks, karst aquifer recharge zones, and critical habitat, and come into very close proximity of some of our beloved springs, such as Jacob's Well. Let's look at the actual map. Okay, so here's Midland, Odessa. This is Austin and San Antonio. This is Fort Worth and Houston. By the way, Progressive Comedy Tour. We're coming to Fort Worth. We're coming to San Antonio and Houston and Austin. Come check us out. This is like the proposed. The dotted one is the proposed. This is some already existing pipelines. This is how far they want it to go. And you see there's rivers here. Like, this is just brutal what they want to do. So there's a very powerful video that is on the website that I want to show you. And this is like, if you live here, man, if this is where you live, or you have family that lives here, friends that live here, this is going to be pipeline. This is going to leak. It's going to leak. Pipelines leak. Dakota Access Pipeline already leaked. It leaked near Sioux Falls, something like 30,000 barrels. This will leak. So if you live in West Texas here and you like going outside and you hunt and fish and whatever else, this could pollute it. This could contaminate your drinking water and your family's drinking water. In case that is something to think about. So here's the video that's on the site. It's very powerful.
Anything man-made doesn't last forever. My name is Mika C. Camp Hornick. I'm from the Ponca Nation of Oklahoma. I'm here at a sacred site of the Tonkawa Nation, feeling the power of the water. To all the other pipeline fighters, water protectors, and land defenders in this area, you're not alone fighting this Kinder Morgan pipeline. This is not a one single person's fight. This could be your home next. This could be your backyard next. This could be your well or your spring.
They're going to send 2 billion cubic feet of natural gas per day through this pipeline. That is $10 million of product per day moving through this. They're spending $2 billion to build the pipeline. This area is under siege.
300 feet away from my bed, like I will have to move, I think. Like, I can't sleep every night worrying that thing's gonna blow up.
Natural gas pipeline caused an explosion overnight in northwest Oklahoma. It sent flames more than 50 stories into the sky.
We're not gonna let this go through our valley. We're just not gonna let it happen.
The ground that we walk on, the ground that gives life and breathes life into our families and feeds our children, and it's a way of life. I think it's time for us and as indigenous people to come together with our friends and relatives, wherever that may be, that are struggling and fighting to protect their way of life and protect the land, and pick up this fight together and make allies and be united and show a united front for Mother Earth, for the water, for the plants, for the animals, and most of all for our children. I think what happened at Standing Rock was a catalyst for the rest of the world to be awakened. It kind of brought humanity a little closer together. We're not going to give up. We'll never give up, and we'll always stand up to do what's right for the land and for our families and for our people.
The guy in the videos makes an excellent point. This isn't a Native American issue. Like Standing Rock wasn't just a Native. This is our human race. This isn't a Native issue. This isn't a Texas issue or a California issue or even an American issue. This is a human issue. There's just one news story in Oklahoma of a pipeline blowing up, not to mention the spills that I've already talked about. So this is preposterous. I mean, and like they said, it'll come through your backyard. That guy, I don't want to bomb 300 feet from my bed. That's what a pipeline is. And they talk about, oh, we got to protect our borders from terrorists, but we want to definitely have this, like, you know, hundreds of mile long bomb. So it's like, why don't we just put TNT along the side of the highway? It doesn't make any sense to me. It's ridiculous, but this is why I want to let you know. So this is a way you can get involved. The Wembley Valley Watershed Association has been following the progress of this pipeline and has been actively working with landowners, scientists, experts, and legal counsel to determine the best course of action to reroute the pipeline out of Hill County. Our dedication is to the landowners, watershed, land, wildlife, and to the Texas Hill County. As such, we have concerns about the impacts that this pipeline will bring to our region. We believe the unique karst topography and artisan spring-fed ecosystems of the Hill County are far too fragile for such an intrusive project. So, I mean, I would go a step further and just like block these pipelines. It's another reason we need a Green New Deal. We could have pipelines carrying water. Instead of natural gas, instead of bombs, we could just have water being carried. The worst thing that could happen is, oh, it could leak. Worst case, the whole thing bursts and there's a big bad flood. But you have all these shutdown mechanisms and all these safety things, but nothing's exploding. Nothing is contaminating the water. So like in the north, like this winter, the polar vortex brought all this snow and ice and everything, and it's going to start melting in the next couple months in the spring. We're going to have flooding. So what if we just rerouted that water and brought it to places that needed the water for the crops? The Central Valley of California could use the water, for starters. Georgia, any state like that, any state's agricultural in the Sun Belt that could use water. And we can divert it all over the country. Whoever needs the water, we send it there. So these are the organizations. The construction of the pipeline could cause irreparable damage to these features, and massive disturbance during the construction phases will alter hundreds of streams, creeks, and springs. That's the other thing too, the construction, right? So here's how you get involved, guys, if you live in the area. There's Wednesday, February 20th in Blanco. It's hosted by Kinder Morgan. They're the oil pipeline dicks that are making this happen. And Thursday, February 21st, if you're in these areas, show up or tell your family and friends to show up. This one might be too late, but you could do this one. And go to the website, which is in the show notes below, and it'll give you more of these. These are town hall meetings where you get to have your voice heard. But do what you got to do. Donate, give them money so that they can fight these pipelines legally. Thanks for watching the show. Go to GrahamElwood.com for all my tour dates. I'm going to be coming through Texas with Ron Placone doing the Progressive Comedy Tour in April. March, we're going to the Gulf States, Oxford, Mississippi, Lafayette, Louisiana, Pensacola, Florida, and New Orleans. Get your tickets at GrahamElwood.com. Like, subscribe, watch the ads all the way through. Don't click skip ad. I don't get paid. Positive comments, all that stuff tracks in YouTube. I thank you for watching.